Hey guys, Sujo here, and welcome back to another Tower Defense X video. So I've been hearing all sorts of news around the community, and one of the main ones that is up there is the PvP mode that's going to be coming out in June. So let's talk about it. As a matter of fact, while we're here, let's go ahead and just talk about some ideas for Tower Defense X. Alright, let's kind of just start with PvP. Because this mode is going to be important. I've seen a few videos about how the PvP is going to be a unique mode, and I agree with that. It isn't like no expert mode or endless. It's a player versus player. Now, I don't know how it's going to work if we get all these mobs that we have in order to like spawn them into the other player, or we fight these waves side by side and see who can last the longest. I don't know how it's gonna work. Maybe there'll be some objectives like, hey, A side is closing, go to go to B side, and stuff like that. It's like maybe some trails on the map will close up and others will open. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, but with the PvP coming out, it's gonna bring more interest to the game because this will be something completely new than usual. Now, I can see it becoming like stale real quick, if I'm being honest. So I think what's important, like a few months after the PvP, is to add a clan system. With this clan system, we'll be able to, I guess it'll be more exciting to do like a PvP because not only are you competing for yourself, but you're competing with a team. And then, yeah, like you guys are going like, back and forth on a leaderboard to see who can get the highest score. And I'm not really sure how John's gonna do it exactly, but I feel like maybe it should just be a survive the wave and whoever can last the longest wins. But like, it could also be like a, balloons tower defense. You know how you have all those balloons that you can buy, and then you can put them on the map on the enemy side and try to throw them off? It could be like that, but that's quite advanced. So I think it's gonna be the wave versus wave. And maybe this might be a whole complete different system than, the wins, losses that show on the leaderboards in the game currently, because with the player versus player, that's a whole complete different mode. And I don't know if there's gonna be like a reward system, but it's gonna be interesting. Let's see how it goes, because we don't really have a lot of information, believe it or not, with the player versus player. I've seen PvP all the time in different games, but they're keeping quiet about it, and it's probably for good reason, because I have a feeling it's going to be a game changer to TDX. The clan, I like the idea of. I know some tower defense games have clans, and I don't know. I'm not really sure how that whole clan system could go, but like, you guys have some ideas, let me know about the PvP. I think it's going to be important, and not only that, but we also have we've been in a drought, let's be honest. Now this is unrelated to PvP, because I'm gonna focus more on the game here, because after the Easter event, there hasn't really been much. Now, the PvP and easy mode was set to release in May, but we're already more than halfway through May at this point, and none of them are yet released. Now, I'm not saying that, it could be released in May. It might be postponed, guys, because you gotta remember, with all these good ideas and everything like that, the team only has one coder. And if you have one coder, of course things are gonna move slower. And because of that, I feel as though we need to kind of just focus on the updates that take less time. Now, you might be thinking, Cedartree, what are you thinking, man? This is kind of like crazy. We gotta think of the biggest updates yet, right? Because, look, I think what's more important than the big updates right now is the consistency of the game. We need to have a reason why players continue to play. Because right now, as the game currently stands, at least on my end, I've done everything, so there's no reason for me to play. Just like a lot of you guys who are watching this video, it's like playing the same game over and over again, it's repetitive. So we move on to other games on Roblox. So we need a reason to play the game, not just like the quest and everything. I see we have some quests up there, which is good, but we need to continue this. And I'm saying this because when we have the momentum going, let's say Nightmare mode, it gets, the hype in a while, and then suddenly we have a extended break, and then it drops again. Just what happened with Winter 2025. The Man vs. Steel event, it was over a month before the next part came out. It was ridiculous. And I don't know what was going on around that time, but man, that hurt the game really bad. When people want to talk about the 7.7k players we had on average in the Nightmare mode, once Man and Steel came out, forget that. Everybody moved on. So we have these moments in the game where we have the momentum and then they drop the ball. And I don't know what's going on in the background, but I think we could at least add something in between those gaps to keep at least some of the player base occupied. Now, there have been a few ideas that I've had, and I like to take inspiration from the other games that I've played as a kid, because I think these features could be useful in a tower defense genre. Now, maybe John has a different direction with TDX, and maybe he wants to keep it in a theme or genre, but here is one idea that I have, and those are community events. We have all these events like Easter and everything like that, but what if there's an event where the whole community has to get involved in order to achieve a goal? Alright, let's go with a tower like Golden Refractor or something like that. Make an announcement, a little update about how we have a community event where everyone needs to play and get a certain amount of wins to get something huge. As somebody who sees that announcement, I'm jumping in, man. Like, we gotta get on the game. We gotta get this tower, dude. Like, bro, that's something that could be fun for all of us. And as a collector as well, I think it's also important that we add some sort of like collecting thing. Of course, there's like the skins and everything like that, but maybe we could have like a few badges where, a badge system. I just thought of it. A badge system. Have a little notebook setting in the game. Collect these badges, right? And the more badges you collect, the more, I guess, we could treat it as a badge specifically for, the ones who get it. Maybe some of them could be a limited amount of time, I don't know. And then there could also be like a mastery event where, your tower has like a ranking or a class or a mastery, and and the amount of wins you get, it could level up your tower. And then let's say you're in silver, you can go to the gold rank. There's just all these ideas that I have, but I think most importantly, we have to keep the player base consistent. Once we have the player base consistent, then we can probably throw in another coder here and there and proceed with these big projects that we have coming in. Now, don't get your hopes down or anything like that. PvP's in June, and then the summer months we have 4th of July. We have all these different things. I'm assuming easy mode is going to be delayed, so that's probably going to be coming this summer. September, we have the Tower Battles Part 2 event, and that's going to be huge as well. I almost wonder if that's going to be the biggest event of them all, but we'll have to see. And then, yeah, PvP. I remember they posted a schedule, and I'm trying to list off all the events that I remember that they had on there. Maybe they'll throw in a few more, like, you know, Golden Warship, which nobody played them, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You know, W take or nah. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. You know, I've been thinking about all these different ideas on the way to recording this. So, you know, I just woke up from my nap. I'm like, let's see, what ideas can we make today? I literally thought of this video in like 5 minutes. So, I don't know. I have a lot of passion for title defense games, and because TDX is my favorite, I'm willing to share my ideas with this game so it could succeed. Because I want it to succeed. Like, I want there to be more players playing the game, man, because I saw below 1K and I felt pretty sad. So, yeah, we'll go from there though. Thank you guys for watching the video, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.